Liz's Sunday game is just my speed.
Liz's skate is very accommodating.
It's a friendly game.
Everybody needs somebody to care about them.
I leave the game smiling. For Liz's game, it is special.
That is golden.
I am Liz Ohle. I am 69 years old, turning 70 proudly later this year.
Oh, she's gonna play till she's 90, I know.
And I am retired. And I am the Liz of Liz's Sunday Game. I was born and raised in the US. Hockey was not nearly the thing, especially when I was growing up. I came to Canada, came to Newfoundland. Then when you start hanging around with people that play hockey, you eventually find yourself on the ice yourself.
One summer, a group of us decided to put together a softball team, and we had a tremendous summer, and we had a great time playing together, and it was just really fun to play on a team, to be in a sport. So when the year was over, a friend and I, talking about how much fun hockey is, I just said, hey, let's start a hockey league. Let's go play hockey. Maybe there's something we can play. Let's figure out what's out there. So we started calling around and looking around, calling rinks, asking if there were any women's hockey games that we could join. And we learned about a group that used to play at the former Brother O'Hare Arena. And actually, this is the first time that we ever saw Liz Ohle play. There were a group of women on the ice, and they were phenomenal. But the only person that stood out that looked like maybe we would look was Liz Ohle. She was going her hardest and doing her thing, but these women were incredible. For older women who didn't know how to play, there really weren't opportunities. I said, let's start our own thing. Let's do our own thing. So that night when we went out to see Liz playing with her very skilled counterparts, there was a real light bulb that went off for us.
So there was a women's hockey league in town that started around the year 2000. And its initial goal was to provide a place for adult women to learn how to play hockey. And by around 2005, it had expanded by bringing in people that weren't just beginners. And I thought, okay, maybe what we can do is have a game that stays for beginners. And then in 2003, someone who was very instrumental in starting women's developmental hockey for adults asked me if I would take over organizing the game that she ran. Getting ice time is always a challenge, but I secured an hour of ice on Sunday afternoons, and so in the fall of 2006, started that first game.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
And at that time, it was the only game in town for women at that level. There was a waiting list a mile long. And what happened over time, as there were more games for people to start in and the waiting list got low, I split it up into 2 different lines. I have a line that is somewhat slower, which is the new people who I think are the real purpose for the game. And then there's the somewhat faster line. There's blending of people that are kind of in the middle on the cusp of those 2 lines. But even to call it the fast line, no, somewhat faster. Because even the people on that line, in the grand scheme of things, aren't fast. One of the things about the game that is so integral to it that I forget that it's not normal, we don't keep score. And halfway through the game, the goalies switch ends. Score is pointless People think, but you're playing a game. What's the score? Who won? We all did. The atmosphere I want to create is, I want it to be an atmosphere where people are welcome, even at very basic levels, that people that are new are not expected to know rules, that there's courtesy, that if someone falls down, the game stops until they're up and you know they're okay. So I want the atmosphere to really feel not just physically safe, but emotionally safe for adult women to try something that is potentially very intimidating. When I think now about my first hockey games, it's a bit terrifying. I mean, the things I couldn't figure out, how you open the gate to get off the bench onto the ice terrified me. How you take a drink of water through the cage on your helmet. I mean, these were my challenges. And other than that, I think I just stood on the ice and people whizzed by me. I get a lot of satisfaction from doing this. A couple years ago, I listed up all the people who had played in this game ever since 2006. And it was close to a couple hundred people. 3 or 4 years ago, I looked at the players that are in the women's hockey league, which is 9 teams. And easily 2/3 of every team had started in my game. I like seeing women on the ice, especially, who wouldn't have the chance otherwise. I think as women, we're socialized not to prioritize ourselves. And for some, there are, especially moms, who come and play. It is the 1 hour of their week that is strictly theirs. There's one woman, she'll show up early every time because it's 10 minutes extra that she has to herself. And so I get great satisfaction and joy, providing an opportunity where women can do that with as little hassle as possible. I like that. I need 16 skaters and 2 goalies every Sunday at 3 o'clock. And ideally, they fit nicely into a somewhat slower and a somewhat faster line. You'll notice I've got my phone here and it's turned on because at any moment, I could get a cancellation. I have subs that are so eager to play that they will not schedule anything on a Sunday afternoon because they know they might get a call at the last minute.
So when the text message comes in that there's a call, I definitely get like a little excitement in my chest. Oh yes, this week I'm heading out. And as a mom, it's nice to just get the call and know that I've got somewhere to go and that I'm gonna have my turn this week to play as well.
There was one time that
You keep track of who lives close, who's available without much notice. I'm in a state of readiness on Sundays. So what's happened in terms of having help with the game, mostly people have created roles for themselves if they wanted a role. And Betty has been fabulous.
Some people have said that I'm Liz's right-hand gal. Before each game, I'll put the nets where they need to be. If I get there on time, if I'm not late, I'll set the clock. I try to make sure the ice is as nice as possible before we play. I try to teach, new people how to do it too. So I do try to help out as much as I can with Liz's game because she does so much for it, and why not help out? It makes the game better for everybody, including myself.
I was very much an intimidated beginner. I probably could have started playing hockey 3 or 4 years before I did, but it was a little hard to imagine myself out there. So I can relate to people that have those kinds of hesitations. And I very readily tell every single woman who's coming for her first game, it's like, everybody is scared.